I was a child of a mother that raised 4 kids on her own. And I have a message of hope for you. So, my parents immigrated from Central America to Canada. And shortly upon arrival, my father decided to go do his own thing and he left us. So, it was up to my mom to raise up 4 kids on her own. And I was the youngest one. And I really wanted to make this video to just give some hope. It's almost like a future perspective so that you can see you as the single mother that's in this same situation, whether that's that your relationship didn't work or just something happened and you find yourself here right now with little kids, and it's just you and these little kids, and you're probably thinking, how am I going to do this? Like, it probably feels hopeless. And I'm sure there's the thoughts, like I've heard from my mother, of like, how are my kids going to get a solid role model? They're not going to have this fatherly figure in their life, and just having to deal with that burden. And I just want to share this message of hope. Hope of, it's almost like a future perspective for you, that you can see that it's possible, that my mother's my hero. Like, she's just straight up a hero. Because why? Because she pulled it off. Because she learned a whole new language. She never had some high-end education. She just grinded it out. And she was a rock. She was a rock. And she didn't put any other individual before us. She just set it in her mind that she was going to dedicate her life to raise us and to give us a better future. And that's what she did. And I can't even imagine the pain that some of you are going through, of not being able to fathom, not having that family, that picture perfect scene of, the mom, the dad, the kids. But life happens, things happen, people go through stuff. This life is extremely complicated and no one is perfect. I'm not perfect, everyone's imperfect. But sometimes the sad part is that when those things happen, there's still kids there. There's still kids that are very vulnerable, kids that are like, what's going on? And I just want to share this message of hope, to just hang in there. I saw a lot of a mother just give it her all. I saw the struggles. I saw the good times. I saw the bad times. And, the unbelievable thing is that the thing that I remember the most is that we were not rich. We were not rich at all. And I get it if some of you are thinking like, oh, but the financial side of it, what if I can't give them A, B, and C? Like, honestly, I don't remember that, because I also just happened to have friends over the years that, like, if they had stuff, they shared it with me. I felt like it was mine. It just wasn't a thing that I remember. But the thing that I do remember growing up is that my mom was always available. That if I needed her, she was there. And she was just a rock. And she was, she worked, she was home every evening, and she cooked for us. If we needed a hug, she was just always there. She was just, and that's the thing that I remember. Like, and it's just, I just want to encourage moms that if you're in this situation, to have hope that you can do it, that you can pull it off, that it's unbelievable that my mother now, the four of us are married. Half of us have relationships that span over a decade already. So it's not like, the cliche of like, oh, since I was separated, so are my kids. That's going to affect. No, the opposite happened here, where us and my siblings are like, we don't want to recreate that. It's like, we don't want to do that to our kids. So we're just so thankful because we got to see one parent give it their all. And thankfully, over the years, I also got to see some really good role models. I think the whole thing with my father was addition by subtraction, where he had so much trauma and crazy things going on in his life. And I think if he would have been involved, I think it would have been a negative. And that addition by subtraction was, I didn't have to deal with all that. Now, I was lucky enough that I was able to see some really solid men growing up, some really solid dads. And I remember going to some friends' houses and being like, those guys are awesome. Like, that's the kind of dad that I want to be. That's the kind of husband that I want to be. And I remember always looking like, man, that solid guy. And now that I'm a dad, I can repeat those things. And I'm really thankful that I got to see those men be husbands, be fathers. I've thanked them myself too. And also with my kids, it's not like because I never grew up with a father figure that I'm now a terrible father. Like, I love spending time with my kids. Like, in fact, I get to do everything that I wish someone did for me. And that's like, it's awesome. I see my brother doing the same thing, and it's awesome. It's just like, don't think that, oh my gosh, they're, me and my husband never worked out and my kids are sort of doomed. It's like, no, have some hope. I encourage you. I get it. It's extremely difficult. I've seen it. But have some hope that life will take these turns and twists. But if you just stay solid and just be there for them. Just be there for them when they need you. You don't need all the stuff, but you do need the quality time. You do need just the consistency. And it's unbelievable. There's 4 of us. And like, when I reflect, it's 4 of us that are married. 4 of us have careers. Neither of us have addictions. I feel like that's a really, really easy cop-out that I've heard over the years of people being like, because I went through this is why I have. It's no. My mother taught us, like, hey, don't mess with some of this stuff. And yeah, it really influenced us. She was a mother. Well, because she's older now, so she's not an active mother raising us, but like, she never had addiction. She didn't drink. She didn't smoke. She was just like a solid lady. And her story's crazy. Her parents passing away when she's young. And here she is raising 4 kids on her own in another country. I don't think I could do it. There's like, now that I'm a parent, I have a spouse and 2 kids, and I have a better career than my mom ever had. And I'm like, this is hard sometimes. So it's like, how does she do it? And I just go, man, some of you moms, you guys are amazing. Like, you guys are truly remarkable, powerful individuals, and just the love that you have to not give up, to not just walk away and call it quits. So I'm just here to share this story as proof and as a future outlook, to be like, you know what? You stick with it. As hard as the times you're going to get, you stick with it. You show up. You embrace your children. The best that you can, you show up, because you have to balance everything. And one day they'll turn around and they'll thank you. They'll thank you for all the sacrifice that you did. The 4 of us thank my mother so much for what she did. And now it feels like we broke that cycle where it's like, things weren't going well in other relationships, but now, like with her generation, but now with us, her 4 kids, like we're trying to change that. And now we're raising our kids in a whole different way. So just to conclude this video, hang in there. You're not alone. And trust me. We as kids, we see everything. And when we grow older, we can reflect back and be like, wow, thank you so much for doing that. So I just want to give a shout out to all the single moms that are doing this. You are a powerful individual. And I encourage you with everything that I got to keep going. Okay, peace.